a life of a Googler is way more than what it seems from the outside world. Every day, every other day, in next 24 hours, Google receives 80,000 to 1 lakh resumes. There's nothing that you can't do. It's just you have to be mad about something.
वेलकम टू द फोर्थ एपिसोड ऑफ द टेक जर्नी और आज हमारे साथ में है ऋषिका सिंह हु इज वर्किंग इन गूगल एज प्रोडक्ट स्पेशलिस्ट सो ऋषिका टेल अस अबाउट योरसेल्फ
So I'm Rashika and I do belong to Kota, Rajasthan. And I started my career journey with, I completed my BCom and MCom from Jaipur, from good universities. I won't take the name. And then I started my career with Amazon. Amazon was a campus placement. And since then, I know that I'm going to dive deep into the corporate world. So that's what I'm doing since then. It was 2020, I guess, and it has been 4.5 years I've been working in corporate.
Okay, so how a typical day looks like in a life of a product specialist in Google?
Okay, so Google, as you know, holds a very different space in terms of culture. So a life of a Googler is way more than what it seems from the outside world. The work here is really, really good. The managers are amazing. People here are incredibly good. So we like I personally enjoy coming to office rather than working from home. I do not love the work from home culture at all. Till the time, like since I was hired in Google, I'm coming to office every day because the office is made in such a manner that the employees never so dissatisfied, never unwilling to come to office. So my life in Google looks like a very satisfied, very fulfilling life an employee imagines or expects their employer to be.
Okay, nice. So how many rounds are there in your interview at Google?
There are typically 8 rounds of interviews, and interviews are quite difficult, I would say, because again, it is Google, so you can't expect it to be really easy. But they start with, I would say, it's like an opposite journey. If you like appear for an interview somewhere, you feel like the first round would be the most easy and the eighth coming on to be the most hardest. But it differs here. The first round is the most toughest round, wherein half of the population is struggled out. Coming on to like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the eighth is the easiest. So you have to be very, very prepared about the first round. If you are able to clear the first round, you can move ahead.
First round is phone screening now, no?
First round is a kind of an examination for 30 minutes.
Okay.
Wherein there are separate sections, be it English, the language, the role that you're applying for, your background, your basics that you had in your 10th or 12th. First round is like a basic and a really deep round. So your video is on and you write answers, be it like a yes or
Like,
no or close. Yeah. So it's like a good examination for 30-35 minutes.
okay. Can you share a specific interview tip that helped you succeed?
Don't prepare for interviews.
Okay.
Because if you prepare for interview, I personally did not prepare for the interview. So I was working with some other company that time in like March or April this year. And I just got 30 minutes of my time free. So I decided to give the Google examination and did not prepare anything. If you prepare something, you're only focusing on like the main areas of like what you think, what you imagine can be there in my examination. But when you give the examination or any kind of interview without preparation, that comes from your mind. And Google's interviews are really designed in such a manner that nobody who's preparing, who's like rectification thing, can clear Google interviews. You should be very, very present of your mind, really clear with your concepts, and very smart while giving answers.
So let's say that after first round, so if someone wants to prepare, so how he or she will prepare? Any resources?
See, I'll list out some rounds for you to help. So the first round is, I told you, an examination for 30-35 minutes. It consists of English language. It consists of your role, whatever you are applying for, be it a software engineer, whatever. Whatever role is this, go deep into that particular thing. Only the concepts. No need to like revise something, just go with the concepts. Then
Okay.
if you clear out that round, that is a 60 marks round, and the
Mm-hmm.
clarification bar is 40.
Okay.
So you can still give 20 wrong answers, and 40 should be completely right. Then the next round after this is your pronunciation test. How do you pronounce words present on your screen? So there are again 100 words, and out of those you should pronounce 80 right.
Okay.
Then the third round is a language test wherein you don't, everybody today knows English. So English is not a good game. You should
Mm-hmm.
be very, very confident pronouncing different language words. There are a single sentence in 5 different languages, be it Chinese, and then American English, Hindi, and Spanish, French. It may differ interview to interview. So you should be able to like read out those lines in a frequency, and also like with confidence, even if you don't know Spanish. I also don't know Spanish,
Okay.
but that's the third round. This, the reason of this round is because in Google there are like a diversified culture here in the office and
Mm-hmm.
also outsource. So there are a lot of people that you'll be meeting after joining Google, that belongs to like different cultures. So you should be at least able to understand what they're saying if you're not able to speak.
Okay.
Then the fourth round, test your aptitude, the presence of mind. How do you solve puzzles? Situationships would be given to you. You have to answer them depending upon what the situation is.
Okay.
Then after that, the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth round would be like with the hierarchy managers. Be it the first round would be with your coach that you call a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you'll be meeting your leader, then the AM, then the SM, and it goes on.
So these are specifically for product specialist.
That I know for myself.
Mm.
I am only like sure about what my role included. It may differs for role to role, be it like if it is more a technical role that involves like DevOps engineering role or software engineering role, anything which touches more of a technical arena, I
Mm.
think there would be more technical rounds. But for me, it was a non-technical role, so it included all of these.
So
Yeah.
resume shortlisting is a big thing in Google. So how to prepare a resume got selected?
Yeah, there are more than like when you enter Google Office,
Mm.
there is a huge screen at the reception,
Okay.
and the stories changes every day. So every day when you enter the office, there is a new story posted on that television.
Mm.
And I have read a kind of a story of like written by Sundar Pichai,
Mm-hmm.
and it says that every day, every other day, in next 24 hours, Google receives 80,000 to 1 lakh resumes on the Google career page.
Okay.
Till now, the number of resumes like in 2024 submitted to Google careers page differs, but it exceeds like more than 80 to 90 billions. So
Okay.
they have like 80 billion resumes are still being unnoticed at Google career page. So I agree with your question that resume shortlisting is everything.
So how someone prepare his or her resume so that it can be selected?
So I did not hired somebody to make my resume, did not took AI help. If you're so in misconception that AI will create a best resume for you, this is not right at all, because they first shuffle out the resumes that are made by AI. So don't waste your money creating the resume by AI, LinkedIn. Don't do that.
ATS, ATS software.
Don't do that, because they
Okay.
know this is Google. They
Mm.
know how do you, like, you can't win. They have everything, every other software that identifies whether the resume is made by AI or not. So they
Mm.
shuffles out the resumes that are not real, first of all. Then comes the resume that really makes sense. For example, make your resume as short as you can as short. It should include everything in one page, should not exceed one page. Then
Okay.
do not ever include long stories about your experiments, about your whatever you did in your past jobs, your experiences. Don't include the history. Write the
Mm.
keywords that are very relatable to your role that you're applying to Google. For example, I was applying for product specialist, that is a customer facing role.
Mhm.
And there was only one job with Amazon that was a customer facing role. After that, with Genpact, with Disco, with Accenture, none of the job was a customer facing role. Then how did I get selected to Google? Because I just have one experience with customer facing role, all others was client facing roles.
Mhm.
So what I did was first go to your, like, the job that you're applying to Google, thoroughly go to what they want out of you, thoroughly go to the job description, and in the job description you'll find what they want out of you, what are you going to contribute if you get selected to Google. And then select very relatable keywords of that from that job description and include that into your resume, because the resumes are being selected only at the keyword level. So they search for a big, for example, product specialist, they'll search for customer facing or customer satisfaction. And then if your resume has that word, it will get shortlisted. Don't include
Okay.
unnecessary history.
Can you share something about Google culture or something you like the most in Google?
I love everything about Google. There's nothing that cannot be liked at Google. Google Office is incredibly designed by amazing architects. There's nothing that comes onto your mind and it is not there in the office. There's
Okay.
everything. Whatever you think of, it is there in the office. Like, we have, if I talk about the office, we have like four different cafes in our office. It differs. Italian cafe is there. Then there is an Asian cafe, an Indian cafe, differs. Then we have like micro kitchens on each alternative floor. Micro kitchens, as in there are open snacks, open beverages, anything that you wish to take, you can take. Open fruits, everything. We have nap pods. That's one of my favorite destination. We have a place to sleep, a place to rest. There is a medical room. We have doctors inside. There is
Mm-hmm.
a drawing room where you can sketch or draw. There's a music room wherein you can meet people who love music of different cultures. You can play your music, you can play instruments. Then we have a gym, of course, a wellness center wherein you can take spas. Everything is free of cost. Everything is included with your Googler iCard. You don't have to pay for anything. And the accessories are free. If you're a Googler, you don't have to spend money on purchasing like electronic accessories. That includes chargers or the headphones, cables. Everything is free of cost.
Google
A lot
Pixel.
of no, Google Pixel, you can't take Google Pixel home, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can win Google Pixel. There are a lot of games, activities going on every day in the event center.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really wish, like today there is an activity called walkathon. So it is
Mm-hmm.
again organized by Googlers, and if you win, if you get like a good position in any of the activities that you take part on, you'll of course get a Google gift. It could be a Google Pixel, it could be a Google iPad or anything.
Nice. So, can you share one or two tips for listeners who are interested in becoming a product specialist?
Try to improve your communication, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Try to be very frank and very fluent with your communications is all that attracts people here. Try to learn different languages. I'm not talking about Spanish, French, German. Try
Mm-hmm.
to learn about different cultural languages wherein you can get clients. For example, if you are handling a Japan client, of course you cannot learn Japanese in one day, but try to figure out the major words that they use, the major things that they do. Kind of a cultural environment you should be building amongst yourself, because Google is all about following a culture. You can get any customer. It's just not about India. So Google is a versified company, and they really treat every culture same. Try to also clear your concepts, because conceptual knowledge is so important that you cannot like read something and appear for an interview tomorrow. If your concepts are not clear, Google managers are Google managers. They have a lot of knowledge. They have hired incredible people in the past. So your knowledge about your concept should be so clear, and then only apply for a role that you feel you are suitable for. Don't just hit apply to every other position that is open.
Mm-hmm.
Search for your particular position that you're really interested and you can really contribute to this company. Only then your passion will make you clear the interview. It's just before we end, I just wanted to like deliver a message that I was somebody who like shifted to Gurgaon when I was working with Accenture, and there is a place in Gurgaon called 30-second milestone where we have our Google office.
Okay.
And it is a place known for like there are a lot of cafes, restaurants, rooftops are there at this place, around this place. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people from Gurgaon comes here, and there in the middle of this place, there's a huge office called Google. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody, like when I was shifted to Gurgaon, it has been 2 years now. Every time when I visited this avenue place to cater any restaurant or something, I used to look at the Google office and imagine and think in my mind what these people have done in their lives. What kind of people are they who sits inside this office and work?
Mm.
So this is the kind of thought that entered my mind every time I visited 32nd Avenue. Never ever in my life I imagined that I would be sitting in the office, inside the office one day. So all I wanted to say is don't ever like underestimate yourself, your limits. You really can, because there's nothing that you can't do. It's just you have to be mad about something. And I was mad about Google since day one. I wanted to enter this office, I want to see what happens and what kind of people are they, and I can't believe I'm one of them today. So that's a message I wanted to deliver, that don't be shy, don't be underestimated by others. Just focus on what you really want to achieve and you can.
It is a great advice.
Yeah.
So huge thanks to Rasika for sharing such valuable insights, and pleasure meeting to you and pleasure talking to
Same
you.
here. Thank you. Bye.